My name is Mark Followill. You're listening to another dumb podcast. These guys are freaking morons.
Another dumb podcast. No, I like it. It's not dumb.
It's called Another Dumb Podcast.
That makes sense. So you could have just said, I'm doing another dumb podcast.
Yeah.
Again, basketball dumb guy over here. Sorry.
On the dumb podcast.
And now we're recording. We'll see.
Excellent.
We'll see who else jumps on. We'll have an open forum today in lieu of the Texas Rangers going to the World Series.
We're the first podcast to report
Yeah.
the Rangers will be in the World
I'm
Series.
just going to let everybody know if you were wondering.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You see this episode pop up in your feed. It's the big news.
Dude, wouldn't it be hilarious?
Right
What if it'd be hilarious? So I'm going to put like Rangers go to the World Series as the title and be like, someone looks at it and goes, "What the fuck?" Like, what?
Are you serious?
Where have I been? Yeah. No, yeah. Oh, but
Man, what a time to be alive.
I tell you, because I would say 2010, 2011, we kind of saw this coming, maybe a little bit. You know, these teams were competitive. But now you come up on this, you're like, I don't know, they'll probably compete pretty well. You know, they'll do well this year, I think, maybe. But
I think at the beginning of the season, it was if they won more than 80 games somehow, that would be a tremendous success.
I think I was Mac Engel. I don't know how I ended up on he was on a Reels, which I was like, wow, Mac Engel can figure out a Reels.
All right.
I was like, man, he's getting up there. All right. But he was like, I knew the Rangers were going to win, but I at the beginning of the season, their over-under was 81.
Yeah,
to start
that makes sense.
The 81 starts the year because I think they lost 68 games the year before. Don't hold me to that, but
Nah,
but
I think it sounds about right.
Something like that. I think they lost 93 games. Am I wrong? I don't know. So that seemed like a pretty good, you know, you're going up, but you're not going to like make the playoffs or anything like that. But, you know, they also didn't have the idea that, I mean, I guess we should have said it with like DeGrom. I went to opening day. I was like, damn, DeGrom
He got blown up.
Yeah, I was like, you know, this shit's pretty good. This team hits. You know, I think there's something there. And that first game was against the Phillies.
Yep.
You know, but with a Bryceless Phillies, but still a pretty good team. Which I realized too that Baum guy. I think
Long-haired guy.
Yeah.
Alec.
Really good. And
yeah.
I don't think he's like 24 years old or something like that.
I think I would have still picked the Rangers, I think, as a homer, but also if it was the Phillies, I'd still pick the Rangers to win, but I think they caught a bit of a break as I further just cement my future bad take of this series coming up might be pretty short, in my opinion.
Whoa, okay. Wow. You did you tweet that out today?
Yes.
Okay, and what was your tweet? I think it was
I just said if you need to get the game 1 and 2 tickets if you want to go, because
6
I don't
and
think
7
it's coming back.
6 and 7. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I left it vague enough that if Arizona were to win it in 5.
I do like that because you
I'd
can
be
be like,
like,
hey, I never said the Rangers.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, look how smart I am.
Yeah, I'm so smart. I don't know. I cannot get a read because, again, we have two teams that no one read right. You know, no one read that the Rangers were going to go any deeper than the ALDS. Yeah. No one thought the Diamondbacks would get any further than the wild card. You know,
right.
They didn't think they would get anything more than that. So it's a really hard team. I mean, I don't know. I try to look through the lineup of the Diamondbacks, and I feel like the same way I feel like when we played the Baltimore Orioles. When me and Jacob were like, dude, we cannot lose to a team of dudes who I only know like one dude.
Yeah.
Or
No,
I know technically two dudes because one of the dude was really good a long time ago, but he ain't good anymore.
Longoria, yeah.
Yeah, Longoria. I was like, dude, when I first saw that they were in the playoffs and I saw Longoria was on the team, I go, I did not know he was still in the league.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's got to be about 40.
But he's also terrible.
He's just kind of like the clubhouse glue guy.
Is he 40?
Probably not quite.
I thought he would be like maybe my age or a little older, younger, 38. Okay, he's a little older than me. God dang, I can't imagine. I literally can't.
Older than that to me.
Yeah, I know. I literally cannot think of anybody who is playing at my age and older. Because, like, go play baseball right now. Like, no.
No, thank you.
I'm good. I can already feel my shoulder pop out of the socket. Yeah. I can't imagine running. I can't do any of that. So, that's why you look at Max Scherzer and you're like, dude, you're a dog, dude. Yeah. Whatever you did, I mean, it's all right. I mean, you're 39 years old.
Going into this, I just feel that unless the parts of the Rangers, their bullpen being the most obvious one, just completely self-destruct, I just don't see them losing the series.
Could this be one of the worst bullpens to ever win a World Series if they win a World Series?
As I'm told, it's got to be up there.
Like, I think one of the worst, where you have literally one dude who you feel good about. I mean, even him, you don't really feel good about.
Who was that?
Spores.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the guy who in July and August we wanted to shoot to the moon.
I mean, you tell me that, I guess. But, I mean, he's been pretty, though it is like every reliever goes in and he goes, I must walk the first guy.
Oh,
like, you were in a bullpen. You were in a bullpen for 15 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I was
working it all out.
To somebody today who was telling me that in Game 6, obviously before you got to the end of the Grand Slam, where it was, the game was over at that point, but when it was still 4-2 or something, and was it Spores that came in? Maybe it was him. Can't remember if it was him or if it was Leclerc came in the 8th, but immediately just threw 7 straight balls. And they were just telling me how they were just on the verge of a heart attack because they had the same thought. Like,
dude,
how is it possible for you to come out and not get it across the plate one time in the first 7 pitches?
I don't know, dude. I pitched, and it's hard. But I will tell you, if I was a major leaguer, let me tell you, no. I mean, dude, come on. That's what you're supposed to do. But,
sure.
But then you have dudes. I mean, I watched that guy. Is it Ginkle? How you say his name?
Yeah, I can
only, as I see it on Twitter, but I guess I don't really. But
I can't give you much on him because last night was the first time I had seen him pitch.
That's the first time I've seen him, and I go, oh my God, I hope we don't have to. I mean, I hope we can figure that out. Yeah,
they've got some guys that are. It's kind of like everybody seems to be. I don't want to say on fire at the same time because I watched a decent part of that series. Of course, some of the games were during the day, so it's like it's on TV, but I'm working at the same time. So
right. Yeah.
I'm paying attention, but I'm not. But from what I saw, it really felt like a series that the Phillies definitely could have won.
Phillies lost, is what you're saying.
Yeah, okay. But a couple of the games in Arizona, they basically just blew it. And then, I mean, to the Diamondbacks' credit, they went back to Philadelphia and took care of them in the last 2. But there's a path where it doesn't even get that far. And I feel like, again, unless the Rangers bullpen just reverts to its worst self, I think this is Texas in 5 or 6 games.
Interesting. So you have, I'm just going off of what their lineup was here. Kettle Marte.
Very good.
Very good. I think he was hitting over 400 for the series. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's decent.
Corbin Carroll. I don't know a lot about that guy. But
I mean,
I saw him score a lot. So
he's their Evan Carter, young
23-year-old kid. Yeah.
Absolutely elite guy who will be around for the next decade.
Right.
And you'll probably be annoyed by him just because he's smaller,
little
scrappy.
I hate little slight men. Gosh.
Little spark plug.
Like even just dudes watching Altuve. I don't know. I guess it's just my tall man pattern. I'm like, I can't believe I didn't make the major leagues, but this fucking guy did.
Dude, that guy's awesome. I stopped disliking him a long time ago.
I know, but it's so annoying when he holds up the bat and the bat isn't that much smaller than him. The bat is just almost the same size as him. It's not fair.
Yeah.
I logistically don't understand it. So that's what annoys me about it. I'll get over it, but it annoys me.
Right.
Gabriel Marino. I do not know much about that guy. He's 23 years old and batting third.
See, this stage is going to be way too big for Marino. I can already sense it, even though I
batting
don't
third.
know who he is.
He had 2 hits on a Game 7, so there you go. So you have Gabriel Marino. Okay, I'll just assume or is it Venezuela. Yeah, I thought about that. Okay. So he's a commie. Got it. Christian Walker, Tommy Pham, obviously, from the Padres.
Yeah, Tommy Pham once slapped Jock Peterson in the face over a dispute about his fantasy football league.
Yes, I forgot about that one. That was so great. Who was?
I can't remember. I think it was because that Peterson either wouldn't accept a trade or wouldn't respond. Like when you send it to somebody and they just don't even decline it. They just let it sit there.
Good.
And he was annoyed by it, and he ended up slapping it.
That was a good
before a game.
I don't know if we call it. Can we call it a J spin, where you can you seem to recall these a lot better than I think even Jake can. I think you've recalled things.
Hold on, I don't know. Let's not go too far.
I don't know. I think you do pretty well. Christian Walker, again. Okay, that seems like an older guy, 32 years old.
Yeah, he's good. He's been around. He's been around a while.
I'm trying to think
he's solid first baseman.
What is the team he's been on? I don't
just there.
Okay. Okay, really? Okay. Alec Thomas. He just pinched.
Is that a former TCU guy?
Is that the guy? No. Was it?
I just feel like people who tweet about TCU were tweeting about him, so I just assumed.
If they sniffed TCU or they drove by on Berry Street, then they'll tweet about it. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. No, I don't. It looks like he went to Mount Carmel High School.
Oh.
So, somewhere at it.
Wow. With the Branch Davidians. They had their own high school.
Dude, it'd be so great. Well, I had David Koresh throwing me pitches.
Guys, I was homeschooled until the home didn't exist anymore. And then I had to go to real school.
Feds burned my house down and killed my mom. So, jeez.
Still left that school bus out there.
Yeah, thank God. Wow, I didn't think it would take a Waco turn. Lord is I can't say his name. Gurriel Jr., the former Astro. I know that name.
I think and I think maybe he had a run through the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, yes.
Yep.
So am I going crazy with the Astros thing? That's been a few years ago. I think he was on the first.
You're
World
thinking
Series.
You're thinking of Yuli Gurriel.
Oh, his brother.
Who made the slant eye thing when Yu Darvish was pitching. And we all just forgot about it and moved on because I guess it's okay to do that.
I guess
he got suspended for one game.
Look, dude, you're really good at this. You're a Jays fan, dude. Dude,
see, that one always stuck with me because I was just like, that's not cool.
Yeah,
like you can't do that,
dude. We're not, dude. Okay,
he's doing it in the dugout. There are cameras everywhere.
I was 6 when I realized you're probably not allowed to do that anymore. When my friend Hong was like, I don't really like when you do that. I go, oh, I get that. I do like your eyes though. He had beautiful eyes.
They look like this. Here, let me show you.
Dude, Jay, why are you doing that with your eyes right now?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Avon Gloria. I don't even know who this manager guy is. What's his background?
That's a good question. I don't think he managed anywhere else. Tori, is it Lavulo or
Lavulo?
Like
Apparently, him and old Banny Rooster had a little background.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what. Did he play? Served as a first base coach. John Farrell. Sounds like a Red Sox thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's correct.
He's a Red Sox guy.
Yeah.
He has a batting average. He has old what's the old former Ranger manager?
Bannister?
No, not that guy. The one like crap. He was always like he was a terrible baseball player. But that was said he just got fired from the Mets.
Showalter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buck. I think Buck had like a 212 batting average or career batting average or even lower.
Okay. Buck Showalter was once sitting in the same section as me at a Texas TCU game, which is not impressive because I was sitting like high up in the corner of an end zone, and that's why it was so peculiar. Is why he was sitting in the cheap seats with me, not next to me.
You were like, "Come on, dude! You've been a manager of the Yankees for shit's sakes." Like,
I know
you couldn't. You couldn't.
Like I bought like just the cheapest ones I could find, 2 together, and 10 rows down from me.
Would this surprise you that how long do you think he's been the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks?
I'm gonna go. So they've had a bit of a youth movement. I'm gonna say it's his 5th year.
Really?
I don't know. I just guessed.
Well, that was a pretty damn good guess. He's been there 6.
Oh, okay.
I honestly didn't think it was that long. Like I thought he'd been there like 3 years or something. He's been there since 2017.
I mean, they kind of tore things down 2 or 3 years back.
It's good that you stick with a manager and be like, "Hey, man, we know
Well,
we're gonna suck for a little bit here. Let's just roll."
I think we intended to do that here with Woodward, and then we just found out that he was just not up for the gig.
You're like, you're kind of a dork. We're getting a real manager in here.
Yeah, I just don't.
There's no okay. Has anybody talked about that? Been like, could have Chris Woodward had done this? Could he have done this?
I don't think so. Especially with the ups and downs of that team, and so many times where it looks like they were going to just absolutely crater. I don't think he would have been able to keep the room calm.
I think it does. I mean, I think I saw Nathaniel Lowe talk about this, and he was just like, "Yo, like we're getting our ass beat," and he comes in, he's like whistling, like he's like, "What's going on, guys? How you doing?" He's like, "Dude, we just got our ass kicked." Like he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And then we have a huge hot streak. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like he's just has
it's the same no matter what.
Same shit every day. Number one, he's like, "Well, I don't care. Like I just got money whipped to come over here. I mean, I don't care. I mean,
well,
he definitely cares. I'm just saying he's like, dude, you're not gonna rattle the dude who's been there, for that long.
Sure, and I feel like Woodward was the guy who's the good in his role as a base coach, like an assistant type role, and the players like him. It's like, yeah, he should be a manager someday. And then he gets into that, and everybody's like, I don't know about all this. I think he's a little overextended.
Have we talked about, or has anybody talked about, that we should just let Maddox go and take the pitcher out of the game? Just as a power move of like, our manager doesn't even move. because whenever you start moving your manager who waddles like that,
Right.
you're just like, what the hell's going on here? Because poor Bruce Bochy, and think about every long term, like, okay, Pudge is looking good now, but what's Pudge going to be when he's like 60 or 70?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe he's still good, but do you think his knees are going to hold up just as good as Bruce's are?
Bochy's, when he walks, I mean, he waddles, but it also looks like the lower half of his body just has its own mind. Like it's not in like lockstep with the upper half.
His top is going like this, but his bottom is just kind of
Yeah, the legs just kind of flip back and forth.
yeah. He's just like, I'm going real fast, and then the legs are going, we're just rolling around, man.
But I think his contract is 3 years, and I think that's it for him. I don't even know.
Well, I mean,
I don't think he would retire after this year if they won it, but I wouldn't be surprised if.
What if he did?
If they win, I'd be surprised.
But do they? They don't even have. I don't even know who like the big thing used to be like the bench coach or the third base coach. I guess Tony, whatever his name is.
Beasley.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, would we just hand the keys to Beasley or something like that, or
no?
I don't know.
I don't think there's any chance unless there's a health reason that he would walk away after this year. But if they won it, I wouldn't be surprised if they came back, defended it, say they don't win it next year, and he just said, this is a great experience. I got another title out of it.
But okay.
I'm gonna hand something that's in a good spot off to whoever and slowly walk into the sunset.
I'm leaving. I'll be out of here in about an hour. I'm just gonna slowly walk at it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. But objectively, was that ALCS probably one of the better ones you've ever seen? Where there's that many moments? Because I was even looking through, I was going through Instagram, and I guess I hit a Ranger algorithm, and was it the Alvarez hit to center, and whoever dug it out of center, I forgot his name now.
Evan Carter?
Tavares hit it, took it out of center field. That was during this series. Like almost, like this series had gone so long. I go, oh, that was this series when he snagged it out. And I know it wasn't a key moment or whatever, but it was just like holy shit moments throughout the entire thing. Was just like, I don't know. It was even the moments where you're thinking, oh, we're cooked. I mean, we're kind of fucked out of this, and then things would happen, and you're like, I don't know, but and then the game would be over, and you're like, obviously after Game 5, we're like, there's no fucking reason to even show up to the park on this Game 6, right? Like,
yeah, that was the only time that I was down or really had any doubts about them winning. Because once they took the first game, like, all right, yeah, this is series on. This thing may go the whole distance, but I feel pretty good. And then even when it was 2-2, I was like, I think they're going to win Game 5, and if they just have to get one of the next two, I think they can do that. But then the way they lost Game 5, people that had confidence after that, then credit to them, because I figured they'd come out and be kind of flat in Game 6, and
I think we're conditioned because of that. Because after Game 6 of 2011,
right,
we all had fuck that game. We're just gonna keep moving on.
It'll be fun. It's one game for everything.
And then we found out later that everybody was shook after Game 6. Not us. The fucking players. They were like, are you fucking because they had to walk through there and they had fucking plastic was being taken down fast out of their locker room.
So that's a different thing to kind of mentally recover from.
Mm-hmm.
Because losing like that wasn't on the line
mm-hmm.
when you blew it in the 9th in Game 5. It was just there was going to be another game regardless. It was just who was up 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I couldn't believe how that ended, and I was not in a good place, and I figured Game 6 they'd come out. I thought they'd lose like a 5-2 type game.
Yeah, no, but I felt weird about everything because, and I don't know what it was, but I was just like, listen, guys, dude, just fucking go with it. Yeah. And that's why I was doing the like.
Well, I think
that's why I was kind of. That's why I was kind of doing like the whole like whatever that fucking goofy guy's name, the believe sign meme. Oh, and yeah. I was like, dude, let's just fucking go for it, dude. Let's have fun. Because if you're just gonna be miserable during the Game 6, then just fuck it, just turn it off, like Stove.
Right.
Just be like Stove and turn the TV off because it doesn't fucking matter. But have fun with this, and it ended up being fun, right?
It is what is great about playoff baseball, and when it's your team, it's great. A lot of times, just once it's over, especially if you win.
Yeah.
But is just observing whether it's yourself or other people, just what a grind it is, and how stressful it is.
Yeah.
In a series, in a Game 6, 7. Just pitch to pitch, just how I know people that were watching this Rangers series and they wouldn't even watch the Astros bat because they couldn't take it. They could only watch the Rangers bat, and then once the Rangers were done batting, they're like, I'm change the channel for like 10 minutes and I'll come back.
Guys, I gotta tell you, stop doing that. Like like people like. Y'all need to take sports as what was that show back in the day? Like influences into sports. But I mean, just like positivity through sports, but just have the positivity of the good stuff, but the bad stuff, go fucking mow the lawn. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because here's the problem. You take it harder than the fucking millionaire on the field right now. Like, you take it worse than he does. So like, and you're more depressed than the person who actually played the game, who's put their blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Right.
So that's why I was telling people last week. I was like, dude, my highs, dude. When I've been doing this all through a hotel room. By the way, sorry to 124 room 124. You've been hearing me just go, fuck yeah, just really loud. But I mean, when bad shit would happen, I would just go, that fucking stinks. No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever. It's just, so I just have to say, like, my best advice is just take the highs and take them. So like, whenever a player, someone hits a home run, like, fuck yeah, like, take the high, like they do. But when it goes low, like, if you just saw Seager just fucking, like, losing his mind and like, crying or something like that, he would just be like, dude, get the fuck over it.
He'd be like, what is wrong with you?
Dude, fucking Seager's, like, on the ground right now, shaking. Like, I don't know. So
I just have to have the proper perspective. There's 30 teams or whatever, and there's only one at the end that ends up winning it. But now there's only two.
But now there's two. I mean, but
we have to.
I feel
we have
pretty
to
good.
have it now.
I know, and I feel good, and I feel like how you are. But it's even funny. Like, I'm talking to people. That was the most text message heavy game I've been a part of in a long time, where multiple people are texting me, like, I've told my bosses, like, that morning, I go, guys, I'm doing a little bit of work here. My mind isn't here. I just want y'all all to know this. I promise to God I'll work tomorrow. But today I'm doing the bare minimum, but my mind is not here. And they were kind of laughing it off, and they were texting me through it. But I remember it was like 11, it's like 10-2 or something. I don't know what it was. And I was like, texting one of the guys I work with, and I'm like, oh man, you think about tickets? And he's like, dude, I don't even want to think about that right now. The game's not over. I go, dude, it's over.
No, I was in the same mind space. Like I'm seeing Jacob posting the 99.9% chance of them winning, and I'm sitting there watching. It's 10-2, and the Astros get one runner on, and I'm like, dude, if they hit a home run here and then they get another walk, like, Hey, this is possible, man. It's like 10-2 in the eighth
You're
inning.
fucking delusional right there. You're like, dude, they could have put Bruce Bochy out there, and it probably
Yeah.
he probably could have
I mean,
gotten
it's
out
just-
of it.
Maybe it was when it was 8-2. I think once it got 10-2, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
If they blow this, then no one will ever find my body. I'm just gonna go, just walk into the water and never return.
Just let the earth take me. I can't handle this anymore.
It'll just be me and Natalie Holloway just floating.
You're so topical.
Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that. Yeah.
Heard about this one, Brad? They finally solved it 20 years after they actually solved it.
All right. Well, everybody go back and listen to the Patrice O'Neal and Natalie Holloway skit or bit that he did.
Was that just the
that's a pretty
fact
good
that
one.
people cared about it because
Yeah. He's like,
She was- yeah.
because she's a white woman. That's
Yeah.
when he said, if I'm in the middle of the ocean, I'm going to have a keychain with a little white baby on it. I think that's what he said.
so people will care?
Yeah. So they're not going to care about I'm not.
Okay, yeah, not a direct quote.
I won't go for that far.
Yeah,
But yeah, dude, I don't know. But also, like, do you know how much Adolis Garcia makes this year? I think I've been blasting it loud enough that everyone should know by now.
$900,000.
He makes 780,000 or 770. I'm sure he's going to get a little bit more this year, obviously with bonuses and stuff like that. But he's woefully under $1 million. If you were just off your mind going, with a guy playing like this, he has to make well over $10 million, right?
Right. I don't know what his if he's completely unrestricted and free after this season, or if it's kind of an arbitration.
I think he's got 2 arbitration years left because of
Okay.
his late. Because I think he only has 4 service years.
Yeah, right.
So he's still under like 2 more. I'm trying to get. I did look this up because that's the only reason
No,
I know
no.
that. Because I was like, dude, how many fucking years do we got? Like, is he free after this year? So,
'cause
but we're gonna
I
have to pay
think-
him a shitload of money this year, like next year, I think.
Well, a lot more, but to me, it's the how long term. This is basically the Nelson Cruz situation.
Yes, dude. Oh
And
my
do-
god, it's identical.
And do you think because when they had Cruz and they lost him initially, I was like, I don't think it's that big of a deal because you'd be paying him for what he's done, not really what he's capable of into his 30s, which I thought would be a decline. And I don't think Nelson Cruz played this season, but
He still was knocking dingers for.
I mean, even 2-3 years ago, he was still hitting like 35, 40 home runs a year. But I think this is the same situation. So if just the next couple of years he's on a couple 1-year deals, or they get him on a little shorter term and then he goes full force into free agency, that might not work too bad. I would just be leery if you're looking at like a 5-6 year deal. You've already got enough guys that are signed. It runs through age 37, 38.
I forgot he had that. So he 40 home runs with Baltimore, which I forgot he went to Baltimore, Seattle, and Minnesota.
No, Minnesota, he was still
He was raking pretty good.
yeah.
Tampa
He might have been
Bay.
was he a Padre this year?
Yeah.
A year that's your
Yeah.
favorite team.
Yes, he was a Padre this year and knocked in 5 dingers.
Yeah, he's done.
He's pretty
now.
washed. He's pretty washed. He's 42 years old. So
Yeah.
he's
But
like,
up
he's
until
like-
about age 39, he was legit.
He's like fucking Matt Stairs right now. Like just
Wow, former Oakland A.
former Ranger great, dude.
He's a former Ranger great too.
Yeah, dude. Matt Stairs, I still remember like he literally was a pitch hitter and he came in and he just hit a fucking home run. He looks like a softball dad.
I feel like he was a lefty,
Yeah.
curly hair.
Yep. Mustache.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody look up Matt Stairs.
As if that wasn't just a big enough scouting report.
Dude, that's all you need to know,
For
man.
everyone.
But he was a former Ranger great, and yeah, that's literally all he would. Anytime else, he would dribble out or he'd strike out. He would never do anything more than that.
So whenever this series ends with Evan Carter catching a harmless fly ball in left field, do you think you have some tears that'll well up a little bit?
Well, I don't think I did a full-on sports cry other than like whenever in 2010, me and my brother. This is absolutely my gayest moment. Me and my brother held each other in the stands as we teared up and cried. Like, dude, it was. We were fully emotional when the Rangers won the pennant for the first time. Second time, not so much. This one, it was pretty close. If we win the World Series, I don't know because I've never fucking won one.
That's true.
I've never won one, so I have no idea what's going to happen.
I think it might kind of depend how it goes too. Because
Okay.
if it is,
I will say.
whether
Okay, go ahead. Go.
no, I was gonna say if it is like the Rangers just control this series and it's a 5-game kind of gentleman's sweep, it's still going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But if it is a 6 or 7 game battle, then
That'll be just as much sweeter. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I think so too.
Here's where my percentage goes up a little bit. And I might cry now. No. My grandmother who just passed away, gigantic Ranger fan, and you don't follow me on Facebook, but yeah, this has been a very emotional week. It was her birthday just recently, and then all this going through, and I'm just like going, dude, she would be just if she didn't die right as soon as they would win, like if she was still here, just from excitement. But dude, for them to go in the World Series and win it the year she passed away, it would. I think I'm already kind of tearing up now. But
yeah, no.
I think that ups my percentage if we do go to the World Series and win. So yeah, that would definitely up it.
So I experienced something similar back when the Mavericks won, because my grandmother passed about 3 weeks, I guess it was, before they won the championship, and then one of our last conversations was literally about the Mavericks because she loved basketball and the Mavericks were on this playoff run and stuff. And it didn't hit me as much during the course of the finals that year, but when they won it,
then you kind of had that thinking.
Well, and I went there was a big group of us that went to the AAC and did like the watch party because last game was in Miami, where we went to the arena to watch the game, and so they won. Most of us have cleared out. I was just kind of sitting at one of the tables in like the concourse area, and it hit me. Then this is probably like 10, 20 minutes after the game's been over and all that, and I wouldn't say I lost it, but for like for a good 30 seconds or so, like I pretty much just broke down.
Yeah, it's understandable, especially when I think there's these things. I know I kind of lately in the last few years I diminish sports at a time, and I guess you have your boys, and I hope you take in this moment, some of these, and maybe even my dad will. But it would him introducing me to baseball, and my grandmother didn't introduce me to baseball, which is funny. She was one of those who I think secretly watched baseball. And then 96 happens, and she was just like, fuck it, I'm a baseball fan. and then my mom's like, dude, you've never watched baseball. She's like, yes, I have. Like, what? You have? Yes, I have. I just haven't told anybody. Because,
she was sneaking the little mini TVs with the big antenna.
Well, I think she was definitely from the generation where the men kind of rule the house, and my grandfather was the biggest Cowboys fan, and that was what ruled the house, which understandable in the mid 90s. That's just what happened. Okay. But I think when the Rangers started playing better, she was like, yeah, we're watching the fucking Rangers in there. Well, she never cursed at all, but I'm speaking as a gruff version
just
of
the
her.
attitude, the
Just
attitude of it.
She's like, we're watching the Rangers. So yeah. So
I think the other factor here, which is very similar to the Mavericks, is just anyone who has been watching this franchise for decades. And there's been some success, but you never got all the way.
There's a lot of similarities. I didn't think about that until you just brought that up. I just got chills, by the way, because of that heartbreak. Because I tell you right now, the heartbreak I felt in that Austin bar whenever we lost it. I was in an Austin bar for some reason. I was at a softball tournament or whatever, and they lost. I was furious. And there was even more losses than that because, again, you have 09 against Golden State. There's other ones in there. There was a lot of heartbreaking through that, and the Rangers had that too. They had the World Series, and then in 2014 there was that playing game they fucked up, and
So 2010 you lose to the Giants. 11 obviously down the last strike.
Yeah.
You lose against the Cardinals. 12 I think was when they had a 4-game lead. And then the last 4 games of the season were against Oakland, and they lost all 4 of them to lose the division. And then they lost the wild card. And then 2013, I think they lost the wild card again, both at home. And then 2015 was the Blue Jays one. Well, they lost the Blue Jays both those years, right?
14, yeah.
They lost, because the one was the Bautista.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year they won the division, but that was the year they won the division, but they won like the most one-run games in history. So they all of a sudden regression hit them immediately.
Yeah,
when they got in the playoffs.
We're super not allowed to be here. Yeah.
So it's just been ever since David Freese hit that ball. It's just been a huge beating to be a Rangers fan.
I mean,
particularly in the playoffs.
Besides the years of mediocrity that we've been dealing with, we're just only talking in a 13-year span there. You don't have the other 50.
Right. I mean, even me, like in childhood, probably around like 86, 87 was the first time I started either watching or going to games. So that first decade, the idea of the Rangers even being in the playoffs was basically like a fantasy, or it was like a hypothetical. It's never
to be
happen.
Like second place would be like, fuck, dude, we killed it this year.
Oh yeah, I
like I'm serious.
They were 4 or 5 games over 500, and be like, man, the Rangers they're really good.
Yeah. Did you see Gino Petralli tonight, dude? He fucking killed it. Like I was trying to think of a really spare player that was super celebrated. Like.
Toby Hara for years.
It's just like all these players, like even Sundberg. I guess he was actually pretty good, but but to Rangers standards, where our standards are now like, dude, you have to be I know it's the Michael Young curve, but it's like he's not getting into the Hall of Fame of any sort unless Evan Grant runs it. But I don't know. We just talked. That was the easiest 42 minutes. 42 minutes of podcasting was just about the Rangers. That was the easiest shit we've ever done. We didn't have to talk about anything else. I don't know.
So mark it down. Rangers in 5.5 games. I can't commit to either 5 or 6.
5.5. All right. Yeah. 5.5. That sounds good. Okay. Well, yeah, I think we're good with that. Good to have you, Jay. By the way, I didn't even say hi. I didn't even say hi.
It doesn't matter.
How have you been? The kids good? Everybody's good? Okay.
Everything is good. The only negative thing recently might be priced out of going to the Royal Rumble this year. Tickets are ridiculously expensive.
Like enough to where you're like, okay, I got to pick now one. Either I'm going to go to this event or I'm going to go to that one.
This is the one.
The Royal Rumble is one y'all usually go to, right?
Yeah, that's the one we're trying to go every year. But I think San Antonio, where we sat last year, tickets they were above $300, but It was around there, around that range, just above that. Equivalent ticket in Tampa is like right at 500. And I just don't know. I don't know if I can do that. As great of a bid as it is to go.
As great of a bit. Well, it's not like you have much of a podcast to talk about it on. So, I mean, no.
Also true.
So, you can pretty much knock that one off. But I don't know. I mean, I think maybe you hope Money in the Bank is in town. That one's more affordable, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it would just we'd put the money back somewhere else for a separate trip if we had to. But I don't know. That sucks because it's kind of one of those things you just kind of is once they announce the date, location, it's circled on the calendar. We're doing this, so that might fall through. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe sales will be lagging and they'll.
I guess you're gonna have to look. You're gonna have to
bit.
look for that secondary market, but. Again, I think they're anticipating. I guess you don't know what's going to happen in November. I was going to talk about CM Punk, but whatever about
he's not coming back.
About the availability of that.
Well, there's already that was one of our discussions on why the prices were jacked up. Is they got to if they're paying The Rock like $10 million to do a Rumble to Mania type stint.
We're gonna need to make need to make an ROI on that one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you got to get it. You got to get it somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's out of the question that CM Punk can come back. By the way.
Okay. Are you thinking November? Because I know it's in Chicago. So it all adds up.
I don't think they're shy on money and be like, hey. Like if Ari Emanuel, if he wants, he's like, yo, this is a good financial decision. Like he's gonna bring in money, and again, we're gonna clause the shit out of him. So if he starts acting up, get the fuck out of here. Like we'll tell you to kick rocks.
So what do you think? You bring him back for just a brief program where he gets a title shot and he loses?
Well, I think he's realizing real quick. I know people have now talked about how. He's going to show up back on TNA. Do you know that's coming back?
Great.
They rebranded Impact as TNA.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm really mad that we didn't get to talk about Alexis Bannister, but I guess we'll leave that to next time. So.
We can,
no.
Can jump back to that.
We're
if we
good.
Need to.
We'll talk about our queen another day. It's all good.
Oh.
No, that he's going to go to Impact or TNA, because Ace Steele's now working as a producer over at TNA. So.
Well. Good for him.
Or he was backstage. I don't know. I still think there's money to be made there, but I think he realizes I have to go to a more professional, outlet. I just can't go. Like, it's a pretty good lesson of like, if you just take the money, but there's all these other strings attached because that's what people are doing. I was just making fun of, which is going to be at the end of this podcast. The Sting retirement. He's going, I just want to thank you, Tony Khan. And I go, what? For paying you way above your market price to bring you back to wrestle in your 60s? Yeah. I bet you are thanking him because WWE wasn't calling you to go wrestle. That's not going to happen,
So is this like he has one last match type of retirement, or is he just done?
I think it's done. I think after Sammy Guevara kneed him in the face during a table smash, I think he was like, yeah, I'm done with this.
That's it. I don't need this anymore.
I'm super over this. Yeah, I'm too. Yeah, he did a full Danny Glover. Is like, I'm too over this shit.
He's from around here, isn't he? Isn't he from like
Sting?
Stephenville or something? Look it up.
Stingenville? No.
From is it Alvarado or Alvarado? Alvarado?
Sting is from England. Oh no, that's the other guy.
What?
No, just wrestler. Gotta put wrestler in. Gotta put wrestler. 60. He's from Omaha. Steve Borden.
I Man, I thought he was from Texas for some reason.
No. I never thought he was from Texas.
Well,
raised in
I take it
Southern
all.
California, so not Texas at all. Like not even.
Take it
remotely.
all back, every bit of it.
Do you know who his tag team partner was back in the day?
Steve Austin.
Steve. I mean, no, it wasn't. It was the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, okay.
They were the Blade Runners.
Oh, wow.
Yep, they were the Blade Runners. And then the Ultimate Warrior goes, "Well, this guy's spare."
And he went out on his own bit.
He goes, "Dude, no, yeah, I'm way better than this dude." I have to say, when I was a kid, Sting was awesome. Like I remember that was like one of my first little wrestling figures. It was a dumb figure too. It was one that was like this, but it never moved. So it was just like I would fight like this. Sorry, he just had his arms up flexing and it wouldn't move. So I was like, I guess he's just going like this. But as I do like a reflect of Sting, I go, oh, he was so spare. Because do you know that whenever he went back to WWE, so like Triple H had this whole thing, was like, oh man, we're gonna have this big reveal. Sting, first time ever in WWE. And then before the whole thing, like Triple H got this whole thing started up, and then before it, Vince goes up, he goes, "Is this guy a real thing, pal?" Because outside of WWE, Vince almost knows nobody.
Right. Yeah. I could totally.
So he was just
totally
like,
see that.
"Is this really going to be up to snuff? Like, is this going to be? Is he really the real deal? Like, kind of thing." And he's like, yeah, Vince. Like, yes, people are going to go fucking nuts.
It's just the look. It's just the look
Yes.
and the character.
I will say it was the only epic thing he ever did was for nearly a year, said nothing and sat up in the rafters for like 9 months. And I was like, dude, he's fucking awesome. He is so awesome. That was it for me. But other than that, dude, yeah, he kind of, I'm not gonna lie, kind of spares me a little bit. He never was good enough to go to the WWE. He said he would, it wasn't something that he didn't want to go there. They just never wanted him.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of great value Undertaker.
Yeah, yes. I think I would say great value, like, yeah, Undertaker, Ultimate Warrior, but I think he had that niche audience, but he could never get it grander than that because he wasn't anything. Apparently, he had he was terrible on the mic type of thing, so he could never get that going. And do you know who came up with the whole crow sting?
No.
Fun fact about this is Razor Ramon Scott Hall.
Oh, okay.
So Sting, I'm full of trivia here. I couldn't think of someone's name earlier, but I do know Sting trivia. Sting I think it was like around 96 or whatever, was, he was bleaching his hair constantly.
Yeah.
And so he started to stop bleaching his hair around that. And Scott was like, yo, what are you doing with your hair now? Like, what's going on with it? He's like, yeah, I can't bleach my hair anymore. I feel like it's about to fall out. So he was kind of growing his hair out. He's like, dude, you ought to have you ever seen that movie Crow? He's like, you should watch that movie Crow and get start basing it off of that. And he watched it and it's basically the same thing, which is kind of funny that wrestlers are allowed to do that. They just...
It's just got to be just different enough.
Different enough where it was a little.
It's like the whole Vanilla Ice ripping off Queen and Ice Ice Baby, but the beat is just off by enough. Yeah.
Ding. See, it's different.
That's it. Two totally different beats. Totally different.
Okay, well that concludes wrestling talk.
There you go. Hey, can you tell me about Oppenheimer?
No. Okay, I do love your text today.
So-
It was just like you explained about last week of what was so terrible about what I was talking. Here's what my event. Between Brandon and Martin, no one cared about Oppenheimer.
So, okay, from the listener's point of view, because I was listening to it today,
That's good.
and I was listening to and following everything you were talking about, the book, the movie, the this, the that, the other, and then there was just no response. And as I'm listening to it, like I'm thinking in my head, did everybody else drop off?
You would have swore it, dude. It was terrible.
Anything?
It was fucking terrible. And I have to tell you, and this is the hard part with podcasting. And I think again, Jay is. This is why I do like doing it with you, because you at least give off a little bit. You're like, well, I don't know what to say. Like, at least something, even if it's like, this is terrible, just to stand there and stare at me as I tell about Oppenheimer, and just, okay, well, I'm done fucking talking about this now.
I mean, it was however long, and then Brandon just basically went, "Sounds good," and that was it. I don't think Martin said anything. I think he just kind of breathed into the mic a little bit.
Well, that's kind of Martin's bit. Is I on post game beers, I go, "Hey Jacob, are you gonna let Martin talk anytime?" Like, I know they have to have a Martin segment where they let him talk, but then he just goes, "Yes, and he's really good in the outfield, and he talks. You know, he's got a really good OPS of this." And that's just Martin.
Yeah, so I kind of had the same observation there. Like,
yeah,
is he on the podcast, or is he at the Tom Green show, the guy that just sits back in the window?
Dude, I feel like he would be really good like on a blog or something. Like, yeah, I like Martin a lot. He's a funny guy, because he like go get on a text thread with him. He's hilarious. When he gets in front of a microphone, he's like, "Hello, I am Martin. Hello."
Wow.
I hope Martin's listening to this today.
Fake Martin just starts showing up.
"Hello, this is Martin. Let me tell you about his outfielding skills is pretty plus war thing." Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how far we're gonna go with fake Martin, but it sounds.
No, that's probably it. He just turned into like some sort of Catholic nun. Wait, I guess all nuns are Catholic, but whatever.
Redundant. Okay. Yeah, Alex and Ben. That's literally all I had to talk about with Alex Bannister.
Oh, just her existence.
It's just her existence, and that she's back in Texas, and our queen is back. That's all I care about. I have Jada is a hoe. I don't know if I really want to get into that.
Nah,
I'm a pass.
Just not really interested.
Not really.
That's just one of those things. I think that's like just one of those things. Somebody makes this big announcement, and everybody just kind of looks at each other. And
does anyone care? No.
That was the.
Let me move on.
Oppenheimer of marital splits.
The Oppenheimer.
Okay. Who cares? And my first thought was, good for him. Good for her.
No,
either way.
Well, okay. My only 2 cents on it is Tupac had multiple broads, and like do you know his girlfriend whenever he passed away or got shot?
It
was
no, I don't.
It was Quincy Jones' daughter.
Rashida?
No, not Rashida. Rashida's sister.
Oh.
Like Kanata? I don't know, some word. I was supposed to say, I don't know what her name was. But I just know it was Quincy Jones's and you know what she hasn't done? She's not wrote a book about the dumb bitch shit that she's gonna talk about. So
okay.
No, she's do you want to talk about Dubai baseball? Will you be paying attention to Dubai baseball?
Dubai baseball? Is this the live tour of baseball?
This is live tour, and would you like to know some of the players that have been drafted by this new league in Dubai? Have you not heard anything about this?
I don't know anything about this whatsoever.
Okay. Well, in the brief amount that I do know, shit. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull up the. By the way, I guess we'll talk at the end of this of our Apple review or a recent Apple review that we got.
Oh, we have? We have a new one?
Well, just the one that I think I had brought to light.
No.
The players that were drafted, including Robinson Cano, Bartolo Colon, Didi Gregorius, and Pablo Sandoval, which I believe Pablo Sandoval was 4th overall. So, and
Boy, this league. Is it an obesity league? Is that
dude, it's yeah, Didi
really Didi
Gregorius.
Gregorius he's fallen that far?
Yeah, he got scooped up by the Dubai Wolves with the number 3 pick.
Because I swear he was the Phillies shortstop like last year. Maybe it's 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Maybe that was a couple of years ago.
The Wolves
So
got
how many
Robinson.
teams do we have here?
Oh God, don't get me lying on that. I think there's like 8.
Well, because I'm just interested in the team names. If they're going very Americanized.
Were you on when we went over the team names of? Oh, great! Sorry, I'm trying to find this damn league. Baseball United. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Baseball United.
Generic.
And it looks like there's 4 teams. That's not great.
That's awesome.
There's 4 teams.
Is it also going to be on the CW?
Mumbai Cobras, the Karachi. Man, I know I'm messing that one up. Karachi Monarchs, and the Dubai Wolves.
Okay.
And the Abu Dhabi Falcons. So good, strong names. I mean, that's not some like just wussy names. It's Cobras, Monarchs. Well, I mean, Monarchs.
I guess it's okay.
Monarchs is probably the weakest one, but Wolves and Falcons, yeah, that's good.
That could definitely be worse.
Yeah, it could be. Well, it says the Monarchs name references the cricket name as well as the Kansas City Monarchs of the Negro Leagues. So,
okay,
there you go. That's good.
When are we getting this started? Is this?
Well,
it starts. You're like, it starts next week.
It should be next week. I have no idea when the league's draft. Okay, when does it say the freaking league starts? But you're going to be shocked with the owners, because I was shocked about the owners. Including Baseball Hall of Famers Mariano Rivera and Barry Larkin were announced as founding stakeholders. Oh, man, that must have been a fucking great call. It looks like in April of 2023, active Major League shortstop Elvis Andrus has joined the league's ownership group. For, I don't know which crap this is. Which one is this?
So when does the internet start to cancel Elvis Andrus because he's supporting big oil? And
is this going to be pro-Palestine or pro-Israel?
Yeah.
It says here, its first franchise, Mumbai Cobras, former All-Star, you're going to love this name, Chris Sabo, was named the team's first manager. That fucking guy. What has he been doing?
He has Rec Specs goggles.
Yeah, he just wears goggles on the side. Oh, it was. Did you ever have a kid who had the goggles? Had to wear those?
Yeah, my playing basketball, like 4th, 5th grade. My best friend was on my team, and he wore those goggles.
Okay, here's the part where so Karachi, which is the Pakistan team, man, this is wild. This is crazy shit. Appointed former major leaguers Adrian Beltre and Miguel Tejada as its general managers and manager, respectively. So, wow. Yeah. I don't. Who will be? So Adrian will be the general manager, and Miguel Tejada will be the manager. Wow.
I wonder how that works. Is Beltray like is going to be over there, or is he working remotely from like Palm Springs?
He's going to be in his home in Frisco.
Yeah, he's on his iPad watching the game.
He's like, dude, I'm not going the fuck over there.
Yeah.
No, I just want to see him go to fucking Pakistan.
So that's interesting. Like, who's going to be in it? I understand you get some guys who are just in the league, name recognition and stuff, but are they? Well, they've got the money, but they spend enough money to get anybody who's. But then, what's the motivation? I guess other than money, if you're a prospect,
it's just for a bunch of I have to say, like the non-journalist murdering folk who are like, I'll go to the Ranger game. Why not? Or no, Ranger game, but I'll go to a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, sure. And Bartolo Colon's going to be there. I have no idea who that is, but I would love to see him.
Right.
He's a big, large feller. Do you think Bartolo Colon still looks like a bowling ball?
Yeah, I doubt he retired and then it's like, you know what, I'm going to lean up now.
Dude, I want to see Bartolo Colon latest photo. I don't know what you look for. I don't know.
He pitched a couple seasons for the Rangers, right?
Yes, he did. He had a season for
Didn't
the Rangers.
he almost throw a perfect game like his last year?
I would say pretty close. What is this photo? Okay, well, this won't let me look at it. I have to log into Instagram. This is dumb.
Out.
Does Bartolo Colon own his own? Oh, look, you can get the big sexy in his own words. A hardcover for $11.90 on Amazon.
Oh, wow. I bet that's a fantastic read.
I'm sure it is.
It's just about him not paying child support for like 280 pages.
He looks like a really large man.
I think he had a secret family. I think that was his bit.
Oh, here we go. J-Spin. Yeah, there's a photo. There's a photo of him. Looks like somewhere in the Dominican Republic or somewhere pitching. I don't know what it is where I can go. That looks like a Dominican Republic. It doesn't look like a Miami baseball field.
Right.
Pitching and like, oh, okay. He's still staying loose.
Okay.
But eating a lot.
That would be to go back to the whole, can you imagine going out and playing baseball right now? That would be my concern. Like, you're going to get these guys, but they're all a little bit past their MLB days. And depending on how long of a season you're going to play, do you have a ton of just hamstring pulls and shoulder tendonitis? I mean, it seems like, okay, we're going to have this league, but they're going to finally fulfill the dreams of people who kind of like baseball but think there's way too many games, to say, why don't you just have a 20-game season? Play like 2 games a week for a few months, and that's it.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch this on the CW. So I don't know. It's they don't even have a legit like website. I was literally looking for baseball. Oh no, they do have a legit website. Oh, they do. I have no idea who any of these are. They going to play in the States? There's Barry Larkin on the thing and some Middle Eastern feller. Is there any games going to be in the States?
I mean, I'm assuming they're playing
all overseas.
Well, the sensible thing would be because of where it is in the world and the temperatures involved, especially if it's not in a dome, that you would play like November to February.
Do you remember like back in the day they would have Major League versus the world? I want to say this is like 99, 98.
So they play in Japan?
Yeah, they would play in Japan. Like Sammy Sosa would be playing or something like that, like during the winter.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
they would do that after. Yeah, they would do that after the season was over. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, that was
Never-
that was the thing. So,
Never watched it. I just remember seeing like the Sports Center highlights on it.
but I mean, do you think baseball players would do? I mean, it would be tough for pitchers to do it, as far as like the winter is like their time to kind of chill a little bit. But like, would you watch a what, like a coach, not a coach pitch, but like a machine pitch?
No, I would not do that. I would rather watch Bruce Bochy pitch.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can share this. Stove might join us here in a second. We're gonna wrap this up soon. We don't try to do too bad here. This is the Cobras. Can you see this?
I can see it.
All right, we have the Cobras. This is the Barry Larkin GM, honorary GM, and Chris Sabo team. So let's view this roster. That looks like Robbie Ross.
Oh, wow.
Robbie Ross, former Ranger great.
That's a former Ranger great.
Well, how about that? Good for him. 34 years old, finding some other thing. Karan Patel, I believe, was the first Indian-born pitcher ever selected. I don't think he ever played.
Okay.
I think that's their little bit.
Okay.
A lot of these names if one of them comes to name, I do not know. Akil Morris.
No, I can't see it.
He looks like a spare.
I'm trying to blow it up here.
Yeah, none of these names are really coming
No.
in. Enrique Burgos might be a name. That's a right-handed person. No, he looks like a what is it? We have Wasteful Time, or Carlos Garzon. No idea who that is.
Andrelton Simmons,
yeah,
former
Angel.
Angels, and
Yeah,
Shed Long. I think he was a Mariner.
Brandon Laird.
That sounds familiar.
Looks like he was with the Nationals, or no?
I mean, I'll tell you what the threshold is. Am I going to be able to gamble on this? Am I going to be able to like play DraftKings?
Yeah, if he can draft,
Especially if it's during the winter time, because I will not watch a second of it. But I remember during COVID when all of our sports were shut down, but the Korean baseball league was going on.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were fucking doing that. Yeah.
Every single day, I was like before bed, because the games were 4 or 5 in the morning. I would read like the game previews and stuff before I went to bed at night, and then I would, get all my lineup in place or whatever, and then wait when I woke up the next morning and was getting ready for work. I'd see if I made any money or not.
Okay. Now for the Monarchs, we have
The Monarchs.
the Bartolo Colon. David Huff. I don't know why that sounds familiar. He'd spare. Oh, looks like he'd been with Cleveland for quite a while.
Yeah, these don't do anything for me.
You know what's funny? I do click them. You can't see it, but it does go to Baseball Reference. It directs to Baseball Reference. I don't recognize any of these names. Carlos Martinez. Looks like he had a stint with somebody.
Jeffrey Marte, that's a former Angels great. Jeffrey with one F. Who spells Jeffrey Jefry?
Oh, you're from the
Jeremy Profar.
Is that Jurickson's brother?
Yeah. Jurickson should be available too if he wants to play.
Let's say he's like, you go first, and then I'll.
There we go.
I don't know what voice I was doing there.
Yeah, I don't know. He's Italian now.
Hey, Uncle, you do it first. Dude, these are absolute no names.
Yeah, we're not seeing anything here of much value for the Monarchs.
I'll watch. Yeah, I'm not. I would say Monarchs right now, bottom of the league right now. Would you concur?
Yeah, I'm not impressed with either one of those first two rosters.
Okay, so no, let's go on to the Wolves, which I think
All
is
right.
the Robinson Cano team.
Yeah, so we've looked at the Cobras and the Monarchs so far.
Yeah, this is the
Okay.
Cano team.
And their honorary GM is Felix Hernandez.
Is that what?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. The Felix Hernandez and John McLaren, manager of the Seattle Mariners between 2007 and 2008. I was like, wow, that was a quick one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Felix Hernandez. So they did get some. Hey man, go get your money. I don't get mad at people for making money, bro. So no pitchers of any substance I've seen.
No.
So their pitching staff's gonna be pretty light. I'm sorry, I can't even call one out. But it looks like they're gonna have a pretty stacked infield.
Oh, they got Gregorius and Cano. That's like the Simeon of Seager of
Yeah.
Dubai.
Yeah. Basically. So
Who are these even names?
yeah, I don't.
What's that last one? Aldrich something or other?
Did you listen to the podcast the other day where they made up names for those like generic, like unlicensed Major League Baseball games?
Oh,
this is what it feels
yeah.
like. Dwight Smith Jr.
That's is that the guy who used to play for the Mets? I think it might be.
No. That's a different dude. This is a guy who played 4 seasons 3 years ago.
Oh,
Was his last time in the league. So
okay. Well, thoughts and
prayers.
Thoughts and prayers out to him.
Yeah, Rudy Martin never sniffed. Yeah, a lot of these guys are either touched the major league field for, or as they call it, a cup of coffee, but nothing more than that. No real starters to see here.
So for me to be interested in this league, I don't need them playing in like real nice indoor ballparks. I need it to basically be
Would you like there to be
the
a
Mexican league?
Would you like there to be
Eastbound and Down?
Would you like there to be a cow in the left field who is sacred? So if you do hit the cow, you're out.
Yeah, you're immediately out of the league.
And you maybe something worse than that.
I need like an automatic win circle that's out in the outfield.
Exploding second base or something like that.
Yeah, if a ball lands right on the circle, the game's just over.
Look who the honorary GM for the Falcons is Nick Swisher. And Dennis Cook, which is he a former Ranger? Right?
Yeah, like a lefty.
Yeah, Dennis Cook is the manager. Well, good for these guys. I'm glad they're.
Which team is this?
This is the Falcons, which is the.
I think this is. I'm putting in the call. This is going to be my team.
Okay,
so I'm glad the easy pick is the Robinson Cano.
I'm about to say after this, we'll go look at the shop and see if we can get you a jersey here soon. So, yeah, I don't know about this one.
Hold on.
Not a lot of pitchers that I cannot. Severino
Gonzalez. That
sounds promising, but I don't think so. 2 seasons in Philly. No, fuck that. That's not a dude. Yeah, unfortunately, Matt Soren. No. Okay, it does say on here top league. So Matt Soren has gone as high as A ball, but JD Hammer. Holy shit.
Oh, well.
That guy looks 1 season in Philly. Okay. Well, I really don't think this is Pablo Sandoval team.
Okay, so we got Pablo Sandoval and JD Hammer.
Yeah, JD Hammer. Alex Liddy. He would be 3 seasons in Seattle. I don't know, dude. I think I'm more of a Wolves guy.
Yeah, big Falcons guy here.
Okay, well, I would say, yeah, I think I'm more of a Wolves guy, but that's just me. A bunch of nobody. So, anyways, everybody.
Wonder what their playoff system is like. Do they have a real widespread, let everybody in, or more traditional? You got to win your division.
I would definitely say everybody has to be in. We'll see how expansion goes on as they get to year 5.
As they take over other countries.
What are the odds of that one? I don't know about that.
So you still in this whole site, they have rosters and they don't have anything that says we start playing baseball on this date.
I didn't see anything because I kind of was looking for not just that, I was looking for schedule, but I don't see anything that says. It looks like an all-star showcase is going to be around November, but that's not games. That's just an all-star showcase.
Yeah, I can go see the Savannah Bananas for that.
Dude, what is up with the Savannah Bananas?
So my sister lives in Savannah, and they go like a few times a year
to the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, they think it's awesome. I watched it on TV one night.
What is the deal?
It seems like a pretty good bit. It's more of a performance than anything else. I mean, it's baseball Harlem Globetrotters.
All I saw was the Backstreet Boys guy comes in and he starts singing during.
So I mean, I think they try to reinvent a lot of things every game. Everything lasts exactly 2 hours. Like the guy who runs the show, comes out and says something, and they start the clock.
Is it a work?
And huh?
Is it a work? Like. How does it work? I say as far as wrestling terms, is it a work as far as is it fake? Like is it like the Harlem Globetrotters can never lose or what is it?
Well, the Harlem Globetrotters have lost before.
I know, but it's very rare.
Even to the Generals. Yeah. And they divide it up real weird. So it's been a while since I watched it because they play however many innings. Well, it's just time, so it's 2 hours. So you keep score within the inning. I mean, overall, but then there also is like points for just winning the inning. It's super tricked. I mean, a guy will walk out and his bat's on fire. Okay, this is not traditional baseball.
I just see it on Instagram, but I was just like, I guess this is a thing. So
I watched. So I say I watched it. It's not like I watched the whole game. I probably watched 20 minutes of it.
Is it on YouTube? Like?
No, it was whenever the week.
Is it on CW?
No, ESPN was doing all the obscure sports on the Ocho, and one night one of their games was on.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's end. I guess we can end, but let's end with I'm Ron Burgundy review. Comes I guess I don't check the reviews that much anymore. I guess I don't really care. Again, if you review a podcast that is called Another Dumb Podcast, you're kind of the dork in this situation. Okay. We're guys with full-time jobs. We don't do this on a regular basis. We've now gotten regular just because I've been straight up bored in a hotel room. When I was working a lot, I was like, we're not podcasting. I'm sorry.
Right.
So yeah, so here's what it is. The hosts aren't great. I'm sorry. It's not fair to call them below average. I'm sure he's saying below average podcast. I don't know. Says the hosts aren't great. Not a ton of preparation seems to go into things. You think? Let me go over my preparation. I through the week have a notes section that I write things down that come to my head, and that's it. And then if Jay or
that's pretty extensive.
That's as far as I think most podcasts go. I don't know. I think it's fairly decent. The lead guy seems to always want to talk politics and then incapable of explaining his position while making everything really uncomfortable in the process. Which I think
that's pretty much
pretty funny.
This is the positive review, right? Because that's like dead on.
That's kind of my bit. So I was like, oh, okay. Listen, I don't know what podcast he was talking about specifically. I don't know. Dude, message me. I'm Ron Burgundy, but I don't know. I don't think I've done that very much, and maybe mostly in jest nowadays. So
was this a recent review, like within the last week or so?
It looks like it was on the 11th, so it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay.
Do you want to look at But the problem is we haven't had any reviews like probably in a year or anything.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. So if you were listening, and Dan got the young Daniel had wrote that I'd made him. Listen, I did not make him change his star rating. He wrote a really good review, but then gave it 4 stars. And I go, listen, dude, the star system's an all or nothing. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like I'm even mad that the guy who wrote that review gave it 3 stars. So I was like, well, you're almost satisfied. But when I see 3 stars, I go, well, you still probably listened enough that you, like, if I listen to something bad, I just turn it off. I don't ever.
I think if you're given 3 stars, you basically just said nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you're directly on the fence. Yeah, if you're writing a review, it's got to be something.
Hold on. We might be a 3-star podcast, and I think we are. Which
I actually think this guy is giving a very fair assessment.
I think you rated the podcast pretty accurately. But I was like, but Dan, Dan, you know us, and you still gave us he gave us a 4-star. So I was like, dude, either 1-star us or 5-star us. Don't middle us. It's like, you know us.
So he went and changed it.
He did change it, but don't kick me off Apple iTunes because I know you can be kicked off for certain things in the ratings or whatever. But I think
manipulating or contesting the results.
Well, I think you like if you did a contest and be like, hey, if you give us a 5-star review, we'll give you things, and that's naturally not allowed. But if you do,
that makes sense.
But I know podcasts that do send in a review, good or bad. So they'll be like, "Hey, this guy won. He gave us 1 star. Said you suck."
Hey, any publicity is good publicity.
That's what I say. The review before that was 1 year ago, and it says, "Yes, dumb."
Yeah.
In the tagline, 3 stars again. Again, not 1 star. He gave us 3 stars. So I'm like, you know what? I used to get mad at this, but now if you give us 3 stars, I think I'm okay with it.
Another positive review, because I feel like maybe he's saying yes.
You're gonna love
dumb.
You're gonna love this.
This is what he was looking for.
I forgot what this review was, but you'll love this review because please tell me which one you think this is referring to. And it says, if that one dude could make more noises with his ice cubes, that would be great. Would you like to know who that is? That is Jay all the way.
Yeah, that was definitely me. I remember that, and I remember kind of thinking about it, and then being like, you know what? I know I've been doing it for the first 30 minutes, so we'll just see it all the way through.
Just keep going, you know? Yeah, if you're already out that far. But a year ago, we did get on October 26, 2022, we did get a 5-star review. It said, greatness. It's reminiscent of the ticket. I'm like, hold on, like the old ticket, right? When the ticket was solid back in the day, but this show is actually better. I think this might be a plant. We might have planted this guy. I'm not sure. It's from Ryan Wittig. So appreciate the review. Dude, if you review, again, okay, now I'm going to change my thing. Okay, you either give it a 3-star or a 5-star. Don't give it a 1-star. Don't give it a 4-star. Don't give it if you give it a 2-star, you're a psychotic person.
Yeah.
Because that's really going, well, it's not the worst piece of shit I've ever listened to.
Yeah.
But it's
like you have bad thoughts about kids and stuff if you're giving 2-star reviews.
Yeah. Solid.
I think I love the idea of the really good rating. I mean, the really good review, but still just give us 3 stars. I think that's
a solid bit, dude. Everybody,
I've completely changed now.
If you made it to the nearly hour, we're about an hour and a half in, and we're about to wrap it. You give us a 3-star, but a rave review.
Yeah,
I will read it on air, and you will be because I don't care. So like, just pulling the curtain back, post game beers. They're like, hey, we're doing a contest for this, because they do things to like drive more listeners. I'm trying to repel more listeners. Because I want a specific listener. Okay, I want Theon Daniel. I want my brother. I want my trying to think of there's another guy who listens. I'm Corb, I think his name is.
The pilot guy.
Yeah. So I want the Big Show. I want these guys. These are my people. Okay, I don't want some dork that just wanders in. What's going on? I'm here for the fucking Blake Jones interview. What's going on? It's like
you didn't ask him any tough questions.
Yeah, golly, why don't you really stick him to the wall? Ask him where he's going. And I go, we all know where he's going, dork. Why would I ask him the most obvious question that he's most likely not going to answer?
Right.
That's like. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Let's go up to OJ. Hey, did you kill Nicole? What's going on? No.
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
You like killing them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think your favorite 3-star podcast is now the tagline.
Okay.
I think that's it.
3 stars. Yeah.
That's right.
Because dude, let's get it over. We're not gonna be a 5-star podcast. We don't do this full time. Minimal effort. And 4 stars, I don't know. There might be a podcast we do that is a 4-star podcast. That means we really put in the effort. Maybe something magical happened. But
it's just the chemistry's there.
On an average, we're a 3-star podcast. And that, like, this used to get on my nerves because I would look at the other ratings. Because, again, I think most of the podcasts were, like, pretty safe. Like, hey, we're going to do, like, I'm not saying that we're so edgy, but no, we're a pretty niche-y. We talk about the ticket and the dumb zone. Like, talk about niche of niche,
Right.
So you get here and you're like, oh man, I want to listen about this. And you're like, who the fuck is Dan McDowell? I have no fucking clue what's going on right now. Yeah, 1 star. I get that. So let's get at those 3-star reviews. We want to weed people out. We don't want people going like, whoa, hey, this is a fucking 5-star podcast. Whoa, I'm expecting a lot. It's like that's the whole thing of it. Because I didn't want to, like, when me and Jacob years ago were actually pitching little podcast names and was like, the foul line, or whatever kind of, you put some sports term. I was trying to think of one. I was like, the foul.
That's fine.
Out of, like, foul territory,
right?
Or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something edgy and sports related.
Right.
It's always like unnecessary roughness.
Right.
With da 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 da. And it's like, dude, the problem is you do that, then, I only can talk baseball. I can only talk whatever. So it's like, well, no, I don't want to be that podcast. Which, again, I guess we don't really have a niche, which sucks. Because, like, the whole thing with having a podcast, you want to actually have something that you're here for. So,
yeah.
Where ours is just an ADD podcast of, you want to talk wrestling?
That's a struggle, not having a focus and being like 4 years into it too. That's
we have no idea. If you like look at it, like the openings have all been different. We have no idea. There's no straight structure. I don't start the podcast the same. Either sometimes it's cold over, or I go, hey, I'm Brad Z, whatever.
Right.
So I don't know. But that's funny. I guess we're done. I'm not going to get to dump talk or what T-shirt contest. So let's move on.
Yeah, that's an odd combination, but maybe next time.
Do you remember as a kid going to the dump?
I think I've only gone like once.
Here's
helping somebody move out of their house.
You didn't go as a kid?
I
remember going as a kid. Like, my dad took me. I'm like, dude, we're going to the dump. This is awesome. And I don't know what we were throwing away an old dryer or something.
No, didn't have that. Didn't have that as a kid. Good thing we didn't include that in the episode. It would have been pretty short because I just feel like nope.
I remember this will be short. Is there was a guy who was the guy who would tell you, "Oh yeah, go dump over there," or "Go dump over there." He would just point. It was just all he did. And I was like, "Oh, dude, that guy has the best fucking job ever." And my dad goes, "Yeah, he's got all that shit in the back of his truck from people who dump shit, and he just goes and grabs it."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I was going to talk about wet t-shirt contest because the Dumb Zone talked about it, but
I heard a little bit of reference to that. I guess.
Well, they did ask, "Had you ever been to a wet t-shirt contest?" I was like, I don't know if I have, but then I realized I did. I have been to a wet t-shirt contest.
Okay.
I think I was 17 years old.
Okay.
With a fake ID.
Okay.
Statute of limitations is over. I can talk about it now. I was in a club in Deep Ellum, and there was a wet t-shirt contest, and that's when I realized that there is a market for a girl, because wet t-shirt contests used to be actually pretty big money, where you can make like $300 or $400 at a wet t-shirt contest. So there would be, you go to the club and someone's like, "We're doing a wet t-shirt contest," and it's like, "Okay, I'll do it." But then you have like a ringer who's like going club to club as the wet t-shirt contest ringer.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's ringers. Yeah. They will they go to the wet t-shirt contest, and they will steal the money. And you go,
man.
You're like, whoa. And then she goes, "All right, I got to go to the next club." When she gets her like, you got to keep hustling around to go to to go to all the wet t-shirt contests. So okay, well, let's Rangers in 5.5.
5.5.
We're good with that. Okay.
I want to thank Martin for joining us tonight. He didn't say anything, but
yeah, Martin was here the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, Adult Spartacus, he has a really good OPS on the thing.
Why is he's Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite?
His strikeout rate is really okay. All right. Well, Jay, till next time. Thank you very much for coming on. I'm not saying I missed you, but yeah, it's been a long time coming. We haven't done it in a while, so
don't make it weird.
I know. I just did. See ya. Bye.
3 stars.
Okay. Do I leave now? Is it over? Okay. All right.
No, not that kind of woe. I'm in a woe like, Darby's the best partner he's ever had. You had somebody else in mind, didn't you? Darby's the man, let me tell you. Secondly, I want to thank
Lex. Yeah, maybe it is Lex Luger.
Who made all this happen without him making the phone call. Some 4 years ago now, Tony Khan. Tony,
for money,
I want to thank you for making that phone call, giving me a chance to come back.
For money whipping the shit out of me. Thank you so much.
And to go, ow! A couple more times. And Tony is asking for the microphone. So, Tony, here you go.
Speaking on behalf of Tony Khan, it is Tony Khan who should thank you, Sting, for what you've meant to AEW. You arrived on the scene.
Sting went off script there, and he's like, "Last week, I'm not gonna let you do it again."
And now your final match, Revolution 2024, and we are proud to be a part of Sting's great career.
Tony Schiavone doesn't look like he has clothes that fit properly.
35 years ago, that on this network, TBS, Sting put it on the map. Sting put professional wrestling on the map on TBS. And I'm so thrilled about being a part of it. I really am. It elevated him to the icon that he is now. And you've heard us talk about it all week, that Tony Khan had a very special gift to absolutely thank you, Sting.
Thank you, Sting. Thank you, Sting.
Has a very special gift for Sting, and I'm proud to bring out that special gift right now.
Well, what is it? Do you have any idea? What the hell? Wait a minute.
Doesn't look like they really told Sting about this.
No way. It's got to be a joke.
So they finally got Rick. An old drunk Ric Flair. Way to go.
The Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Oh, my God. What a... Talk about Tony Khan giving a gift. He goes in big. That's Nate. Oh, man. Royalties in the house. A man who, I mean, is so interwoven with Sting's career. Sting has moved, man. Emotionally, you can see his face. What a moment!
Don't put on the crowd.
Nature Boy, Ric Flair. So much history, as you said. I'll never forget that Clash of the Champions match. It put Sting on the map. He referenced it, thanks to Flair. Wow, what a shocker! Of course, long history between Ric Flair and Tony Schiavone as well. No kidding.
Yeah, damn right, you can say it. 35 years ago, Ric Flair and Sting on TBS made TBS wrestling really what it was and what it is still today 35 years ago. Nature Boy!
I would say, can I just...
Welcome!
I should bring you in this moment, too.
Oh, gosh.
That's what I was just watching.
You know that in life,
I might put this in the
there
podcast.
are moments that are magical. They're few,
Yeah, there are moments
and
in
they're
life
far
where you need a
between.
check.
And that's the magic of the chemistry of whatever you do in life that makes you the best.
I'll never
35 years
make
ago,
fun
35 years
of a
ago,
person
this
that
gentleman
donates their
and I set
time.
History on TBS. First Clash of Champions against WrestleMania. And brother,
Sorry, I just wanted to watch this because I heard that he was
No,
on
you're
there.
good.
Inducted him in the Hall of Fame to go 55 minutes in a match 35 years ago or tonight is hard.
That's
He
hard.
never took a deep breath. He lived
Look
up
how
to all
fucking,
the potential.
like, swollen
and
his
he
face
not
is.
only one of the greatest wrestlers in the history of our business, one of the biggest celebrities.
Jay,
but
if you
yet
could look
probably
into this,
the nicest
into
guy I've ever known.
his vital organs right now, what would you think they would be looking like?
So when I got an invitation,
It's just
and I'm
cranberry
saying
and
it from the
vodka.
bottom of my
Yeah,
heart,
cranberry and
when I got
vodka.
an invitation from Tony, Mr. Khan.
We'll put this in at the end of the podcast. How about that?
Was he? Is he a part of the company now? Or is
No,
this just
no,
an
no, no.
appearance?
I think this is a one-off.
Okay.
Rick can't
Because-
do shit. He can't fucking talk. He can't obviously can't work.
Right.
So yeah. Oh god.
Okay.
He might break
Well,
a hip.
you know.
He might break a hip right here. He started running the ropes.
Get a check, support Sting, and leave it at that.
He just chopped him. Oh no, it's I have no is this Kristen Cage? Who is this? No, it is Kristen Cage.
Oh yeah.
With
Well, this is something I'm way behind on.
Luchasaurus and
Oh, of
that's
course.
Nick Wayne.
Guy with a dinosaur head coming out there.
So, Tony Khan is a billionaire, and this is the gift that he gives to Sting for his retirement, huh? This is the gift. So, Tony basically, Sting, he basically gave you a suit, some gold chains, and a black liver. Great gift.
Christian
But I
Cage
gotta
is pretty
say,
good.
Rick, it's really impressive. impressive how you're moving around out here. I don't feel like I'm watching Weekend and Birdies at all. I mean, you can't even see the puppet strings. You look great.
I don't even know where I'm at. I don't even know. As long as the Tony Khan check clears, I'm good.
Yeah.
Relax.
I'll let you.
I also know there's not a God, because if there were a God, Ric Flair would have been dead 20 years ago.
At least 10 years ago. You know, like, remember when Ric Flair almost died? Like,
Oh, yeah.
He was
That
literally
was-
under.
Now the real
Was that
reason
before
I'm out
COVID?
here-
Oh, no. This was like
It was like 2 years ago.
2000. No.
Oh,
This
okay,
was
okay,
like
okay.
5 years ago, probably.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Watch 100 plus channels.
sorry.
Of live
Oh,
TV.
okay.
Your favorites.
Well, I'll tell you, AEW is. I think the last time I watched it was whenever Moxley and Bryan Danielson were in a match for the title. However long ago that was.
Yeah.
That's probably not 2 years ago, but it's probably a good year to year and a half. And I haven't watched a second of it since then.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's stop this portion of the podcast.
Yeah,
and
right.
I'm just. This is now the end of the wrestling portion.
Yeah,